I lost my temper with my in-laws because they keep defending my abusive mother. Both my parents abused me when I was a kid. They're both dead now, and I had nothing to do with either of their funerals. My dad died when I was 19, my mom when I was 27. I hadn't spoken to either of them in years. Here's what drives me crazy though. People always try to make excuses for my mother, but never my father. It started in school when teachers would say things like, well, mothers are usually just overwhelmed, or she probably didn't mean it that way. Even my first therapist suggested my mom might have been abused herself and was just repeating patterns. But my father, nobody ever defended him. Nobody said he was probably stressed or had a hard childhood. People understood he was a monster. The thing is, my mother wasn't any less abusive than my father. She actually tried to kill me 3 separate times. Once she held a pillow over my face until I passed out. Another time she locked me in the basement for 2 days without food. She was just as bad as him, maybe worse. My mother-in-law Karen and father-in-law Bob kept quiet about it for years. But when my mother died 2 years ago, they started with the comments. Karen goes, "You should try to forgive her. She was your mother, and she probably had trauma from her own childhood." I told them to stop. My wife Emma backed me up and said nobody should be making excuses for child abuse. They apologized, and I thought we were done with it. Yesterday we're at their house for Sunday dinner with Emma's whole family. Karen and my 2 sisters-in-law start talking about adoption for some reason. Then somehow it turns into this whole conversation about my parents. Karen looks right at me and says, "You have to understand that mothers usually don't abuse their children the way fathers do." She probably felt trapped and didn't know how to cope. Emma tries to shut it down. She goes, "Mom, we've talked about this. It's not appropriate." But then Bob jumps in and says, "All we're saying is that maternal abuse is usually different from paternal abuse. More emotional, less physical." That's when I completely lost it. I stood up so fast my chair fell over and yelled, "Are you kidding me right now? She tried to drown me in the bathtub when I was 8 years old. How is that less physical?" The whole room went silent. Karen's face went white, but she kept going. She goes, "We just think you should consider that she might have been suffering too." I started shaking. I was so angry. I told them they had no right to defend someone who tortured me for years. That it was sick they would bring this up again after I specifically asked them to stop. Emma grabbed my arm and said we were leaving. As we're walking out, I turned around and yelled, "She wasn't a victim. She was an abuser. Stop trying to make her sound sympathetic because she's not." We drove home in silence, and when we got there, I completely broke down. Emma held me while I cried because it brought back all these memories I'd buried. Karen kept calling Emma all night trying to get her to come back and smooth things over. But Emma was just as angry as me. She told her mom that defending my abuser was unforgivable. Now Emma's whole family is mad at us for causing drama at family dinner.